Welcome back to Wired to Run, and we are broadcasting from the balcony of our hotel room in South Florida on the last night of our vacation.
And today we're talking about something that almost every runner deals with at some point, coming back from vacation and trying to get back into training.
Because let's be honest, re-entry after a trip can be hard. You're coming home with all of the laundry everywhere, the suitcases half full, or half unpacked, I should say. Your sleep is off, and food has been a little different on vacation. You're indulging and eating all the stuff that you don't normally eat, and your routine is pretty much gone out the window. And the idea of lacing up your running shoes is the last thing you want to do.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, vacation can really throw off your routine, your sleep, like you said, your food, your hydration, motivation, confidence.
Yeah, that's true. And it can lead to a whole spiral for us ADHDers. Yeah, loss of fitness. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I lost all my fitness on vacation, or I'm so far behind in my training, and I should have done more running when I was away, or I should have packed my running shoes. Yeah, here's the truth. Vacation did not ruin your training. Taking a break is not erasing your progress. And, needing a few days to find your rhythm again does not mean you are starting over again.
Absolutely. So in this episode, we're going to talk about that post-vacation training reset, how to get back into running without punishing yourself, thoughts, that voice in your head that says all or nothing, and how to ease your body and brain back into the routine with a little more grace.
True. So whether you're just coming back from the beach like us, a big Disney trip, a road trip, a cruise, we love cruising, so we totally get it. Or, a week where your running shoes just stayed packed the entire time, like many times for Will and I. This episode is for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about our vacation. We definitely relaxed a lot more than we typically do on most of our vacations. And if you hear a lot of screaming in the background, our balcony overlooks the main pool area of our resort. So there's a lot of kids playing and stuff like that. So you get the real deal of vacation here. And also the World Cup is going on. USA is playing.
This is true.
And they just scored a few minutes ago before we started recording. So you may hear people going crazy in the background. So real things going on in the background. But it was a fun vacation, and it's going to be really, really hard to go home tomorrow. How are you feeling about that?
I agree. I think having time off of work, time off of the normal responsibility, it's nice. Of course, I drive home tomorrow, so that's going to be a lot of fun, fighting traffic.
I love it.
But, I think it's nice. It's really cool when you can just kind of kick back and just relax. And especially if you're in an environment that you don't necessarily get to, go into a lot. And for us, the beach, even though it's not that far away from us, it's still a bit of a drive. So we don't get to experience it as much as we would like.
That's true. We love it down here in South Florida. A lot of kids,
Cannonball!
A lot of kids screaming and jumping in the pool.
Marco!
Polo.
Marco!
Oh, USA did not score. I guess somebody missed. We hear people going, oh. Anyway,
but we're
giving you a play-by-play apparently.
we're just guessing because
by the time this airs on Monday, you'll know what the score is.
We're just guessing. I could
Wednesday night.
I could walk in and check, but
we're recording. It's July 1st, so you'll know the score of the game. Hopefully USA wins, but we're partial. We're in the USA, but we're overlooking the ocean and palm trees, and the sun's already set and everything. And we went for a walk on the beach with our little one last night. We tried to fly a kite. Did not go well. We got a lot of exercise running up and down the beach trying to get this kite to fly with no winds. Tonight probably would have been a great night to fly that kite. But
Mary Poppins was not on our side.
no, it was not. But we did get a lot of activity on our vacation despite not packing our running shoes.
Yeah.
Typically, I do pack my running shoes and get a lot of running in. When we go on a cruise, I do pack my running shoes because I love to run the running decks. And
Well, on certain ships, I think you do.
yeah,
I think the Wish is still one of those
Yeah.
classes where they didn't quite do the running deck.
yeah.
The
We've
right
Disney cruised. We've done the Wish, and we can't really run the deck on the Wish because it doesn't continue all the way around the ship. But we love the fantasy and the magic because we can run the whole deck.
Well, she
all the way
can.
around.
I've never ran on a Disney
Yeah.
cruise.
Oh, I love it.
Other
Sun
than
comes
the
up.
Castaway 5K, I've
Yes.
done that
Yes.
once, maybe.
And the medals are cool too, that they give out, the rubber medals.
Does walking to Serenity Bay count as a?
Possibly. We are not Disney cruising this year, but wish we were. So I always pack my workout clothes for when we go on a cruise. But this vacation, we wanted to focus on, quality time, family time, and not so much our running goals. I think that was really, really fun, really important to just do activities that focused on our family. So we did a lot of things together as a family.
We went kayaking, which was a lot of fun. May have made a wrong turn, but
Yeah.
but it was fun. Again, it's a workout. And that's something else we're going to talk to you about in this episode. Is sometimes things that you may not normally do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
There's still some training involved.
Yeah.
So kayaking was a lot of fun.
And when he says we made a wrong turn, I've done this kayaking route before with our oldest a few years ago, and they were doing construction on this one bridge, and I knew the route back then, but since they've done construction, it looks like all the other bridges that you pass. So we ended up in the wrong spot, and then there was lightning in the area, so we kind of panicked and turned around, and we were hitting all of the wakes, so the kayaks were like kind of going sideways.
We went from a no-wake zone to a full-wake zone.
Yeah, and our little one was like, "Yeah."
She loved it.
She loved it, but I was panicking, worried that she was going to tip over, and Will's kayak.
But it's cool, because again, it's a workout, but it's a fun workout.
Yeah.
You're working out parts of your body that
Yes.
maybe you don't work out either in training or even at the gym.
But I will say, thanks to Coach Tom's Stoked Metabolic Coaching, I was not sore at all because I was doing the work. So thank you, Coach Tom, for my plan, because I put in the work. I was not sore the next day.
This is true.
But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that was fun. We did a lot of walking up and down the beach, a lot of swimming. We had
Yes.
gorgeous weather almost the entire time, and the water was aqua blue. It was gorgeous. You could see all the way down to the bottom. So we were swimming a lot, snorkeling. It was beautiful.
So speaking of some of those activities, kind of going back to working out and training, were there any training regrets or things that you wish you would have done?
Training regrets? Not really. I think I brought my Garmin. I don't wear my Garmin all the time, but I wear it to work out. I wanted to bring it to track my steps and stuff, but I left it in the room most of the time. I think I wore it kayaking and maybe once or twice, but we walked a lot of miles up and down the beach. I know the little one and I were walking up and down the beach looking for sea glass, sea beans, and shells and things like that, because the shells are so beautiful down here. And I would say probably walked about 7 or 8 miles the whole trip. The whole week we were here, a lot of swimming, and we didn't capture all that. So it would have been cool to track that just to see how much we did.
True.
But not really any regrets. How about you?
Yeah, about the same. Like I've got the Garmin. I still have to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
So that's always fun.
They're tricky.
And then, I'm not really used to wearing a watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to get used to that. I did pack my running shorts, my socks, everything, because there is that, little gym
Yeah.
And last time we were here, I think I did 1 or 2 runs there.
Yeah.
This time, nothing. But I think the tone of the trip was a little bit different with, really just trying to relax, and hopefully I can begin my training once we
Yes.
get back.
Yes. And normally I usually take 1 billion pictures on
Mm-hmm.
vacation. Definitely took a lot less pictures than normal just to be fully present and enjoy quality time with the family and stuff like that. So we definitely just enjoyed being in the moment as a family, which I loved this trip. So I'm trying to be more present as I get older. But we wanted to kind of dive into the topic being summertime here, people traveling. We just had recently done an episode about running in the summer. We wanted to cover coming out of that vacation. Not everybody wants to go into the training or go back to training. You kind of have like the Sunday scaries after the weekend to go back to work. I think the vacation, Sunday scaries or whatever they call it, I'm sure there's a term for it, but I call it the vacation hangover. It's real.
Absolutely.
It's very hard to come back from vacation. You've got the billions of emails for work that everybody dreads.
Thank you for reminding me.
Anxiety bubbling up inside is already just, you could feel it. And if somebody is backing you up at work, which I have amazing colleagues that jump in to help back you up at work and stuff like that. I'm very lucky about that in that respect. Just having to get everything done, pack up the car up, or if you're flying or you're in Europe, you have to worry about, or around the world, you have to worry about a time change.
True.
And you got to acclimate to your new time zone, unloading everything, the airport, you have to take connecting flights if you're halfway around the world. And then you've got to go back to your training. It's a lot. You're unpacking, you've got work, you've got your school schedule if it's the school year, or camp schedules, emails, and you're exhausted, fatigued, and trying to jump back into quote unquote normal life. Training can feel like it's just another thing on the pile of life. And for people with ADHD, it is another thing that it's our executive dysfunction. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't take another thing, because the overwhelm is all encompassing. It just, for me, it is such a stressor coming back from vacation, especially if you have children, because you're like, especially if you have young children. I mean, it's a lot if you have, we're lucky we have kids very far apart, but for people who have kids very close together, like, wow, like coming back from vacation and you've got to like unpack everything for them and you're trying to juggle everything and stuff like that. God bless you. And for single parents especially, that's got to be a lot. So I can't even imagine. So I just get overwhelmed just thinking about it.
Okay, that's it. I'm done running. No more training. I'm good.
No, but if you think about it, you're coming back from vacation with all of this on your plate, and then you've got training.
Oh yeah.
So that vacation hangover is very real.
Absolutely.
So what we want to help people understand is, don't put pressure on yourself to jump right back in. If you need some time to recuperate from your vacation, to acclimate, don't put yourself under pressure to just jump back into that training schedule. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself a few days. If you have a training plan, or you have a coach, especially, talk to your coach about that, especially with ADHD, you're neurodivergent. Talk to your coach and explain that overwhelm to them. Explain what it's like coming back from vacation to real life, that you need that time to transition to real life before you dive into your training schedule. Maybe do a short run, your first run back, or possibly like we're doing, we're not going back to work right away. We're coming home tomorrow, which is a Thursday. We have off on Friday because it's a holiday from our work, a company holiday at our jobs. And then we have the whole weekend ahead. So we have several days, and my marathon training starts on 4th of July. I have 2 miles on the schedule Coach Twiggs has. That's nothing for me, at least.
Yeah.
For 2 miles is doable. Even in the Florida heat, it's not that bad. Even if I have to walk it.
I was going to say 2 miles on a treadmill is not that bad either.
Yeah. I think that giving yourself that grace is really, really important. Don't overwhelm yourself and jump right back in.
And honestly, I'm going to go back a little bit with what you were saying about tell your coach that, hey, I was on vacation. Can we modify some things? Even better, most likely your vacation was planned a while ago, unless you got one of those discounted fares like on a cruise line or an airline or whatnot. Most likely you knew that your vacation was coming up. Talk to your coach beforehand. Let them know, hey, I see you've got this training plan for me. Awesome, cool, I appreciate it. But I'm going to be gone for a week. I'm either going to be like we are at a hotel, for a week. Maybe there could be some local gyms you could go to. I know back when you were doing OTF, you would still hit the local OTF.
Oh, yeah.
If you're on, let's say, a cruise ship, maybe there's some modified type of things that you can do. But let your coach know prior to your vacation, and then they can do some modifications of your training schedule. So you're already you're proactively already set up for success. But also like what you said too, in the fact that once you come back off this vacation, your next run, it's like a 2-mile run.
Yeah.
And whether 2 miles is a stretch goal, an easy goal, somewhere in between, I like the idea of having something that's not something that you're not going to worry about. The last thing you want to do is get off vacation and then worry about, oh my gosh, I've got a dopey simulation, or I've got a 10-mile run, or
you don't want to worry
like
about
that.
a dopey simulation with that like hovering. I mean, and that's the pressure that you don't want to you don't want to have that looming over you, through vacation. It's going to ruin your vacation or the end of your vacation. And you also want to think about, I've gone on vacations. Remember one year we went on vacation. We were down in West Palm, and there was a run for the sea, a 4-miler. It was a sea turtle run for the sea. And the 4-miler worked perfectly with my training run. That happened to fall on a Saturday where I had a 3 or 4-miler or whatever. So serendipitous that run I could sign up for while I was on vacation, and I had that 4-mile run fell perfectly in with my training run.
Yeah, I like that. And that's one thing that I think is so cool about Disney cruising is if you're hitting Castaway Cay and most of the ships are going to hit Castaway, you automatically know there's a 5K.
Yeah.
It's not timed. There's, nobody judging you. People may not even know what you're doing. And it's kind of cool because it allows you to have that goal race sort of there. And then also, if, like you said, if you know that there's some sort of race or some sort of event that can be kind of a training race, even if it's just something like you go somewhere and they have a special event. Like I know some of the places have what do you call them? Like art fairs or whatnot.
Yeah.
And there could be like 2 blocks worth of vendors. And if you just walk from one end down to the other and back, who cares about time? You're still covering distance.
Exactly. So there are options for you. Don't overwhelm yourself, because sometimes the hardest run is not the long run that you're coming back to. It's the first run after vacation when that suitcase is still half unpacked or sitting at the door, still packed, and your brain thinks you now live at the beach.
Your body is kind of like in that relaxed mode. So I like having that first run or that first, I don't even want to say run, that first activity to be something that is very normal, something that is just, I can do this in my sleep, just to get back into the rhythm, just to get back into the cadence of running, of moving your body in that sort of way.
Yeah. Your body might be tired from all the traveling and the walking and the heat if it's the summer months. Might be out late at night like we were, what we did a lot of like beach walks at night.
And it's also funny too. It may not even be that you're tired. It may be that you're just finally relaxed. It's funny how the body, when it releases stress, you almost just go, ah.
Well, what's interesting. What happens to me, we've talked about this a lot. Is I get vacation sickness, where I think I'm so stressed out before vacation. My immune system's so hyped up, and I didn't believe this. There was actually an article that came out like years after, where I'm trying to convince like people, like there is something to this. Like I used to get sick on every single vacation. The day that we were leaving, or the day after I left for vacation, even if it's somewhere we were driving and I wasn't on a plane or anything. And I would get sick that first or second day of vacation. And I'm like, well, how am I getting sick? And it's because you're just so stressed, your immune system's so amped up that the second you relax, your immune system drops, you get whatever, is going around, or your body is exposed to, you can't fight it off. So it's interesting how like your body can finally just release all that stress. Yeah. You don't want to bring that home with you either. No. So when you're totally relaxed on vacation, you don't want to dive back into that hyped up, stressful environment. Ease back into it so that you don't go the opposite way and then wear yourself out. And now you're sick for all your training. Exactly. You've gone the opposite way, you're stressed, and then you're trying to unwind, and then you've totally worn yourself out and your immune system out, and now you can't. You go the opposite way, because some people can't. You can get sick from going from stress to relaxed to stressed state. When you get back home, your brain might be resisting restarting, because the routine doesn't really feel like it's automatic anymore. I feel like when I'm in a routine and I know that, okay, Saturday morning, I'm there, Holly's waiting for me at our running spot. It's like second nature. I'm ready to go, and I have my fuel, and I've got my hydration.
Your trunk or treat.
My trunk or treat. He always brings up. It's like second nature. Once I'm in that routine, I'm good. I really do fight it when I come back from vacation. I feel like I don't want to do this. I really do not want to get back into my routine. So for ADHD runners, transition periods can be really, really tough to go back to. And then we get into that mental loop of that I've ruined my training. I've lost my fitness, because it might take a few extra days to feel like, okay, my heart rate's a little bit higher when I get started again, or my endurance is not there. It's not, you can't, I don't think you could lose your endurance that quickly. I highly doubt. I could probably ask Coach Tom that, but I highly, highly doubt that. I'm not a professional in that respect, but I mean, if you're gone a few days to a week, but if you're gone for like a month vacation, maybe possibly.
And I think it depends on your vacation too. Yeah. If you're in Antarctica, which I'm going, that is a place I'd like to go.
Yeah.
But maybe if you're someplace where you're completely sedentary, or let's say you spend maybe a week in Italy and all you're doing is just chowing down, which I could totally
Italy,
see.
There's a lot of walking in it.
I know, but there's a lot of yummy pasta. But
yummy pasta.
But I'm just saying, like even here, we went kayaking, walking on the beach, up and down sand dunes. I get to be the carrier of the canopy tent and the beach chairs.
There's a lot of physical activity, carrying stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you're still doing things. So you're not really starting back at square one or square zero.
Yeah.
So you're probably not losing as much as you think you are.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just routine that you're losing.
Yeah. But with knowing that the mental loops that us ADHDers can fall into, of like, oh my gosh, I have to start again, and what's the point of starting again, and everyone else is more consistent than me, and kind of comparing yourself. And like Coach Tom was talking tonight on the Accelerate call about like the comparison trap and things like that. Like, it's very easy to do. You got to reframe it, especially coming back from vacation, that reframe. Vacation didn't erase your identity as a runner. You are a runner still. Like in the Accelerate call, he was mentioning, say you're a runner. You're a runner. If you run, walk, or whatever, or you're a new runner, you're still a runner. Because you went on vacation, you're still a runner. You know, you come back, you may not feel like it because it's taking you some time to get back to it. You're still a runner. A pause is not a failure. You know?
Absolutely.
So the run back shouldn't be punishment. And I think you shouldn't have to prove it to yourself that you're a runner. You know, and you don't want to dive into it to be like, well, I've got to prove to myself that I'm still a runner. You know, like you don't want to do that to yourself because then you're going to want to injure yourself.
I was gonna say, who needs knees? Who needs shins? It's like
who needs hips? Who needs hips? No, I mean, but like it's going to take some time to get back to maybe your paces if you're gone like a week or two. But you don't have to prove anything to yourself.
No,
it's going to take some time to get back there. It might be a little warmer in July than June when, might have a breeze or whatever. And it's, a little bit hotter in the summer months when you come back from vacation. So just take it easy, back it off a little bit. So keep it short, running by effort instead of your pace, like we were talking about in the summer edition episode. Listen to your body, run by effort instead of the pace, and use those run-walk intervals, those Galloway intervals, and leave that Garmin at home or that Apple Watch at home. Feel free to run and get back into it before you start, analyzing your data. It's not a big deal. It's data. It's a data point. That's all it is. It doesn't represent anything about you as a runner getting back into your routine.
Absolutely. Maybe even spend a day or two on vacation doing a little playlist. A little, and actually that could be something that could help motivate you. Create like a little 30-minute, vacation playlist that you would listen to on the beach, that you would listen to in Tuscany, that you would listen to in Antarctica, wherever you want to go. and that first run, throw that playlist on.
Oh, yeah.
Make it like a 20-minute, 30-minute, something short, something that's boom, boom. And listen to that playlist, and that way you're still recapping. You're thinking about vacation. You're kind of like, oh, cool. I remember when that Jimmy Buffett song came on when we were out there eating, and the guy was singing "Pirate Looks at 40," and it's like, and maybe that run now becomes a memory that you're associating with vacation that helps to just get you to that next run.
Oh, I love that. That's such a great suggestion. There's definitely something to those vacation memories, those songs. Like there's so many songs. Like we love the reggae artist Stick Figure, and the first time we heard his music, the song "Fire on the Horizon," was on vacation in South Florida one year. We fell in love with that music and found other artists like that, and we created our playlist. And we actually have a running playlist that reminds us of vacation and stuff like that. And we just recently went to the Stick Figure Stephen Marley concert, which was incredible.
Yeah.
And we played that all through vacation down here. And when we go back home, I'm going to be running to my Stephen Marley and Stick Figure playlist. So I don't know, it'll remind me of vacation, happy memories, and might make the transition back to real life a little bit easier. I love that idea. That's such a great suggestion. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then one other idea that I tend to use, even though it's not as cool, quote unquote, as that one, is I'm a big sticker person. Like sticker. Like
decals?
No, like sticker. STICKER. Like elementary school. You made an A, here's a sticker.
You got a sticker for like good job.
Yes, I mean you see my calendar. I actually got this idea from somebody else who got the idea from somebody else.
Like, what are you talking about?
And like on my calendar, well,
it took me a minute.
And I'm gonna have to start doing that because I've got to start training. Doesn't matter if I do a 3-mile run, if I do 20 push-ups, if I do a strength workout like at the gym or whatnot, doesn't matter. I get a sticker, and I've got little star stickers, and I'll just put on my wall calendar, and then that way I see it, And that helps to motivate me to, you know what? I don't want to not get a sticker each day. Now, granted, I'm not going to run every day, but I might be able to do a run, let's say on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, maybe I can just get some push-ups, crunches in, sticker. And then Thursday, I run, sticker. And then the next day, strength train, sticker. And, you know, it's just that visual reminder of, hey, I'm getting into that routine. I'm building upon my fitness.
I like that. That's a great suggestion. It's cool. Another suggestion is don't try to make up every missed workout. Don't go crazy. You know, like even if you do the sticker route, like Will was suggesting, and you see a bunch of empty sections on your calendar, don't try to earn all of those little stickers and everything to make yourself nuts. Resume the plan from where you are and not where you wish you were, because I know that I've made that mistake trying to catch up, and you gotta prioritize other things like your sleep and your hydration, your mobility, especially if you were kind of sedentary, like if you were laying on a beach most of the time, or if you're traveling and you were taking a lot of trains or buses or planes or whatever, and you were sitting a lot and you didn't get to be on your feet much or something, or visiting family and you're kind of like hanging out at the house, things like that. Hydration, for me, that is the thing that really did not go well for me this vacation. I have my 40-ounce water bottle that I did not bring with me down to the beach very much. I just forgot about it. I was so busy packing for the little one. I neglected my hydration, and I felt it. I had headaches at the end of the night. My nutrition was on point. I made really, really good decisions this trip. Probably the best vacation I've had in terms of making healthy food choices. I was on point with that, but horrible about my hydration. Horrible about my sleep. So I think that when we get home, I'm going to really, really have to make it a priority to hydrate. So instead of making myself crazy about getting back into my my routine with my running and my lifting and things like that, I'm going to definitely prioritize my hydration first.
And I will say that's a tough one, especially depending on where you're at. You know, like especially like in a beach setting or even a cruise setting, it can be really tough for the hydration. And sleep's a really big one too, especially when you have a husband that snores. I'm just saying. And a little one that snores too. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, she's very, very minimal snoring. It's usually when she's stuffy with allergies, but she's, moving on. But I want to kind of put out there about the importance, like kind of transitioning from like the need for sleep and hydration, things like that. Like when you're on vacation, why is it that we feel like we need to earn rest? Like I was thinking about that on the beach the other day. Like we, especially, I mean, I don't know, it could go for anybody, but I know that I think back to like our episode, the Mother Runner's Permission Slip, the last episode of season 1 that Stephanie and I did about putting the oxygen mask on ourselves first so that we can be better moms and, you know, spouses and things like that. But like, just in general, why do we feel like anyone, runners have to feel like we have to earn rest? And I really feel like that is such a common thing for us runners. Can't we just enjoy that time, that downtime for ourselves? What if the break was exactly what your body and brain needed? Maybe your body needs it, but for your mental health as well. I don't know. I just feel like...
No, I agree with you. I think rest is something that is kind of almost countercultural to endurance athletes. I mean, I just remember I was reading a book. I forget the name of it, but it's a biography for Chrissy Wellington, Ironman champion multiple times, and when she first started training with this like world-renowned coach. You know, he'd be like, okay, you know, today's a rest day. And she would just be like, okay, so just light cycling or light jog. No, it's a rest day. What do you mean? I want you to sit on the couch, watch TV. I want you to do absolutely nothing. And she was like, it was like the most foreign thing because as runners, endurance athletes, it's like I if I'm just resting, I'm not improving.
Yeah.
But I think even Coach Tom mentioned that when are you building your muscle? When are you actually
Yeah.
building your endurance? It's not necessarily when you're actually doing the activity. It's when your body's resting
Yeah.
and it's able to rebuild. And I just think as endurance athletes, it's hard
Yeah.
to rest because
Yeah.
it's almost built into our DNA that, you know, we have to suffer, you know.
Yeah. Runners struggle to enjoy that time
Yeah.
off because we feel guilty for not training.
Yeah.
We need it for the mental health. We need it for the physical health. We're like driven to achieve constantly, especially ADHDers. Well, I mean, I think about our daughter working with her OT and things like that. Like they say, ask for a break if you need it. You know, I need a break. And she takes a break from whatever they're working on with her OT. And when she's done with, she's not as overwhelmed or overstimulated or whatever, she can come back to what she's doing.
Yeah.
And she's more focused. Well, why aren't we doing that for ourselves? You know, that goes for vacation as well. When you're coming back from vacation and you're traveling and you're overwhelmed and you know that you have work the next day, give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Why are you jumping back into training the very next day or 2 days later when you know that you've got a mountain of laundry to do for 5 family members or 6 family members, and you got to go grocery shopping because the milk spoiled from 2 weeks ago when you weren't home?
Yeah.
And like, give yourself a break. If you're feeling that overwhelmed, that's a siren that in your body telling you something. It's communicating to you.
Yeah.
So if you're coming home from vacation, you're getting that signal. Listen to it.
Yeah.
Don't feel forced like you're driven by a motor to jump back into training.
Well,
That's telling you to rest when you get back from traveling.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think especially for those of us with ADHD, that's where having a support system really helps. And I think that, you know, kind of going back to what I mentioned earlier which is when you're planning your race schedule, talk to your coach. You know, talk to your family, look at your vacation calendar at work. You know, what weeks are available. And then kind of plan your year around that. So, you know, I know that I usually do a race like in November, December. I usually do a race maybe in March, April. And those are like my 2 big race times. Now I know with those Disney fans, it's what, January and February, and then what, October? Well, yeah, I know,
yeah.
but the biggest one's January, then Princess is February.
Springtime starting in April, yeah.
So it can be a little bit tougher to try to plan around that. But if you have a coach and you can run this by him or her, just say, hey, how can I schedule my year so that I'm able to take that vacation, you know, and talk to them too, because I think even Coach Tom on his episode mentioned something about going on a cruise or a vacation here soon, and how he's kind of prepping himself a little bit so that he can really enjoy the vacation. And sometimes talk to your coaches because they're humans. They know what it's like to go on vacation and gain.
Talk to your coach. They're not going to be mad. They're not going to be upset that they have to work with your schedule. Just the other week, I was texting with Coach Twiggs, and I let him know I'm going to a concert coming up soon, and I'm going to be getting home really late from the concert. And I do not want to have a long run the next day because I'm going to be exhausted from being at the show and long drive after the show home. So he was able to switch my long run to another weekend. So I'd have only a few miles to do. I think 5 miles to do that Saturday. So I could sleep in and maybe do 5 miles on the treadmill or 5 miles later in the day when it's cooler. He had no problems with switching things around. Yeah. Maybe a little bit tougher that I might have more back-to-back longer miles that month, but the coach, your coach is there to work with you and to help you be successful. So if you have a vacation coming up, you've got a concert, you've got, family event, whatever, they're there to work with you. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been on Coach Twiggs's Tuesday morning call, and there are people that have tons of stuff. They've got graduations, they've got baby showers, they've got vacations. I mean, boom, 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 tons of stuff. And coach has to figure out how to move their miles around to make it work for them. So just be honest, be open with your coach. Try to give them a heads up, as soon as you know. It's like with your boss, like let your boss know when you need PTO. Yeah. Let your coach know when you need that time to move your schedule around.
And what's cool, like you said, is if he changed your length of your run on that day, if you're feeling good, like let's just say you come home and you're feeling good the next morning, you can always extend the run if you want. But yeah, that's one of the benefits of having a coach is that they can really work. They get to know you, they get to know your goals, they get to know your mindset, and they can really adapt. And they'll be able to know whether or not you truly need an adjustment. I would say the most important thing about coming back from vacation is rebuilding the routine, not just the mileage.
How so?
Well, I mean, just getting back into the routine of running, of knowing that you're going to be active and not necessarily looking at the training calendar, but just simple things like putting your shoes by the door, having your clothes laid out the night before.
Yeah.
Pick your next run before you go to bed. Start with a route that you already know.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, have a playlist.
You get out the door song.
or a podcast that you can use as that trigger.
I like that. I like, search for new podcasts that you really enjoy.
Or just listen to this one.
Shameless plug.
And I think a big one is also scheduling the run like you would any other appointment. If you have it scheduled, most likely you're going to be more apt to do it.
Yeah. I definitely rely heavily on those cues we talked about to help you get out the door. I think it was the dopamine drop episode. I really struggled after Dopey Challenge to want to run, and I had to really, really utilize specific cues to get my butt moving and out the door because nothing was motivating me to want to put those shoes on. When I loved running and was obsessed with it, and all of a sudden I just lost my zest for running. After Dopey, I didn't know what happened. It scared the crap out of me. I was like, do I not like running anymore? What happened? I have a podcast about running. What is happening to me? And it was just the dopamine drop. It just went away. I don't know what happened. And it came back, and it just was very momentary. And I had to rely on those cues you mentioned. And, having that get out the door song, utilizing the songs that run us playlist on Spotify that we have out there that we've been sharing with our Wired to Run family. Those songs are great. People have added songs, awesome songs. Thank you so much. Those that have added to our community playlist. I love them. Amazing. I just added Out of the Wood. Wow, somebody's going to town with locking that car door. I think it's locked.
Where did I park? I don't know where I parked. And this is why you don't see a lot of people doing podcast recording in the parking lot of, let's say, Disney, because that's all you'd be hearing.
We're sitting on the balcony.
But
oh my gosh.
But it's cool that you mentioned that because it truly is that emotional crash after a great trip.
Yeah.
And
it's the dopamine drop after the vacation because you're like, okay, I don't have another vacation planned until maybe next year. That dopamine drop is, waiting for us at home. So I'm definitely going to need that new playlist. And I think we're kind of building on vacation. We heard Metallica's The Unforgiven reggae style yesterday, which we were both like,
It's like
Unforgiven?
it's like I know this song, but
Like,
not this. I never would have thought about
what
arranging
is
it like
this?
that.
Yeah, we're like, okay, this is all reggae music. Like, there's this one restaurant that we love to go to, and
Best restaurant on land.
yes, they were playing the Unforgiven by Metallica, but the reggae version. We're like, oh, this is interesting. But anyway, that was pretty cool. So we'll add that to our reggae running playlist. It's interesting. But anyway.
But perfect segue to
Wow, that took a left turn. Squirrel.
about how to restart when your body feels off. So when you're on vacation, you might feel a little bloated. You might feel a little sluggish. Again, like you said, sleep might be off. You might be sore from travel, heat, sun fatigue, hydration. But it's not that your body's broken. It's just just resetting. It's recalibrating.
Yeah.
It's going back to nominal state.
Yeah. 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 I mean, you got to wait for your body to adjust and stuff like that. Like Coach Tom was saying, wow, we've talked about Coach Tom a lot today. I'm going to have to tell him we brought him up a lot. We just love Coach Tom. He's amazing. But he was saying on I think our episode, he talks a lot about it in his Stoke Metabolic coaching calls. You're not gaining. Oh, USA scored! Woo!
Well, again, we don't know the TV's in there.
Okay, we're assuming everybody's cheering at the pool. They're all watching the World Cup, so it sounds like they either won or they scored. So anyway. Sorry, squirrel again. But anyway, Coach was saying that you don't automatically gain 15 pounds from your vacation or 20 pounds from vacation. It's fluid retention. So don't panic. Don't get on that scale when you get home from vacation. If you need to, okay, but don't panic.
Yeah.
Get out of your head. I prefer to know what I weigh when I come home from vacation.
Yeah.
And I know it's fluid retention.
Mm-hmm.
I do not get upset about it. If I'm a month in, then I'm okay. I got to get with the program. If it's a month later after vacation, I'm like, okay, I'm not really tracking correctly. I'm not making the right choices. Maybe not eating enough protein, not drinking enough water. Just be careful. Just be very careful. Don't go crazy with diets and things like that when you come home from vacation. Be gentle with your body.
Yeah.
Show yourself some grace, and know that, like Coach says, it's a lot of bloat when you come back.
Oh yeah.
So we're not doctors. Please, please, please.
But it makes perfect sense. It's just like Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You're gonna eat a lot.
Yep.
It comes with the day. I'm going to eat 5 pounds of mashed potatoes. I'm just saying. I'm going to eat turkey. I'm going to eat apple pie. I'm going to, I'm going to eat, but I'm not going to fret.
Yeah.
If the scale is like, whoa, the next day, because I know I'm going to go back to my normal eating pattern. So all those extra calories
and you don't have to earn those calories.
Yeah,
that's
and
the thing.
and I'm not earning the calories, but what I'm trying to say is, just because you don't.
Woo. Oh my gosh! I think that's a good yay.
I would hope so. I mean, maybe the U.S. scored again.
Maybe USA won.
Yeah. Well, I hope they didn't win because it's like a 90-minute game. I don't think we've been talking for that long.
Oh no.
Unless they throw up the offsides, and then it's like.
I will say this is the most ADHD episode we've ever done.
But no, what I was trying to say, it's just like
all over the place.
It's just like with a lot of things, you might. Things come in waves, you might go on vacation, you might overeat, you might, not exercise, you're a different person when you go on vacation.
Yeah.
But then when you come home, you fall back into your normal habits, your normal swing of things. It may take a little bit of time, but you're going to normalize.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that brings us to a good spot where, how do you normalize?
Yeah, you don't have to snap back. You could step back. Don't snap back, step back.
Yeah.
Take a step back. Give yourself a transition week.
Exactly.
Instead of expecting your normal training week immediately. And it's really a grace week. Think about it as a grace week. Chip away at your week.
Yeah.
You chip away at your routine. Don't snap back, step back. So that's your reframe. The minimum viable run.
Yes.
So focus on that. Do 10 minutes out the door, or like a shakeout run, or jog, or walk. I say just putting your running shoes on is a win, to be honest. It will be for me.
Mm-hmm.
So my 2-miler on 4th of July, my first run on the schedule for marathon training, walking 2 miles around the neighborhood is going to be a win for me.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be a mileage, it could be a time, it could be whatever it is that gets you out the door.
Yeah. So I'm not planning on crushing it. I just want to reconnect with my goals. So I think that's a really good reframe is don't crush, reconnect.
Yeah.
Because if you're plugged into where you want to go, you're going to be more successful than if you're trying to crush it all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to ease back into it with ADHD.
Absolutely.
So it's how do you avoid the all or nothing trap?
Hire a coach.
Hire a coach. They will shake you and go, hey, snap out of it.
An accountability partner. Have a Holly, have a Stephanie.
Holly, have a Stephanie. Yeah. Thankfully, I have some amazing accountability buddies that will shake me and say, snap out of it. I have some really amazing, great girlfriends that will keep me in check.
And again, there's no right or wrong way of, the accountability. I mean, some people might need a person. Some people might need a sticker.
Yeah.
Some people might just need the little alert that pops up on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. Because vacation can trigger that thought of like, oh, well, I'll start Monday. Because then you could go the opposite end of the spectrum where you're not, we've been talking about like, okay, you want to crush it. You want to knock out a long run, all that stuff. You could go the opposite end and go, I'll start Monday. And then you start procrastinating. It's the whole all or nothing, now it's nothing.
Yes.
And you keep pushing it off. Restart messy.
Yeah.
You could start midweek. You don't have to start on your Saturday long run. You might be tired. Start tired. Not saying totally exhausted, but like it's Tuesday. You've been back since Friday. You're a little tired. Hey, I'm going to go for that first walk around the neighborhood just to get your blood pumping again.
And I would even go so far as even if you don't want to go for a run, maybe your body's like, hey, there's a pull at the gym. I'll do that. Or elliptical. Even if you have to ease in that way, that's another way to ease back into the activity or the routine of getting out the door and doing something.
Exactly. And really have a comeback plan. We talk about having your cues. Make sure you have the shoes by the door. Okay, so it's like, let's say day one, have that transition day. You unpack, you make sure you get enough water, get enough sleep, no pressure. Day one, you're just transitioning. Don't think about running. Don't let it enter your mind. You are just acclimating to being home. Day two, you just take in some movement. 10, 20-minute walk, easy movement. Maybe go for a swim if you have a pool, something like that. Go for a walk with the kids, with a girlfriend, with a buddy. And day three, maybe add in the easy run walk with no pace goals. Just, I'm leaving the Garmin at home. I'm not going for paces. Day four, maybe stretch, strength training, maybe throw in some strength training, some easy stuff. And then maybe day five, then you kind of bring in your normal training gently. By day 6, 7, 6, 7, sorry. I knew you were going to do that. Oh, brother. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, So I apologize for everybody who's listening with kids in the car, day 7 or 8. You could be around that point where you're like, okay, I'm going for that long run. And this doesn't go for everybody. Mm-hmm. This is for the people who struggle with mm-hmm. those transitions. It can be people with ADHD, people who don't have ADHD, but just struggle with those transitions. This is just a simple plan that has worked for Will and I, because we do struggle with those transitions mm-hmm. back to reality. And it's taken us a good week to warm up to it. So this is typically what's on our agenda when we go back to work, when we go back to our real life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it could take a little bit longer, a week and a half, for us to get acclimated, especially if we're traveling during the school year mm-hmm. and we've got to get the kids back into school. But I think the whole point being, show yourself some compassion, mm-hmm. Communicate with your coach, communicate with your accountability buddies what you need and the support that you're looking for.
100%, because we all need vacation. We all need rest.
Yes.
And sometimes it's the rest that will actually help you become your best, yeah. Because you've finally had that time to forget about your running goals. You kind of forget about some of those fitness goals. You kind of forget about all the stress in your life. Mm-hmm. And now when you're coming back, you're able to see things maybe with a different perspective.
Yeah, different lens. Exactly. And maybe even more of a positive light than you had before you went on vacation. Sometimes you work out issues and problems that you couldn't work out before vacation. You see a little bit more clearly. But you have a different perspective because you've had that time to rest and clear your mind, and your mental health is in a better place.
You're actually going to come back stronger mm-hmm. than you think.
Right. And then when you come back from that rest, you don't want to punish yourself.
Exactly.
And try to recoup all of the time that you were off and be like, well, no, I've got to make it up now. Don't do that.
Because like you said, you haven't lost what you think you've lost.
Exactly. Make yourself successful, set up those cues, put those shoes by the front door. Even if you don't touch them for a week and you see them by the door, you've laid your clothes out on the couch, so you've got them right there. They've reminded you, you've set your fuel, your hydration vest by the door. It might motivate you to get out there in the next week or two. No pressure. So for those that are kind of more all or nothing, yes. and you're leaning more towards nothing, and those people who are more all, maybe don't necessarily put your stuff by the door just yet. Yeah. Give yourself some time to transition to real life. Give yourself a little bit more of a break. Get that laundry done. Take care of some of the housekeeping items of your home, and then go for that run.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope this helps. Like I said, training didn't disappear because you took vacation. You're not starting over. You're just coming back. You're not snapping back. You're just stepping back. So, and coming back is part of being a runner. So we hope you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully it wasn't too noisy in the background and too all over the place. But we definitely enjoyed this time chatting with you. And even though our vacation's over, we're looking forward to getting back into our training, or getting to our training.
Yes.
And seeing what the second half of the year holds for our running goals. And we're looking forward to finding out what your running goals are. So we'd love for you guys to reach out to us on Instagram at Wired to Run Pod, or laceup at wiredtorun.com. You could also reach out to us on Facebook at Wired to Run Podcast. But we'd love to know what your plans are for marathons, short runs, getting out the door, whatever your goals are. We'd love to hear about it. As you know, we have our Spotify community playlist. Definitely check that out.
And if you like what you hear, we would love for you to take a moment, leave a rating on Apple or Spotify podcasts to help other runners reach the show.
Thanks so much for listening. Let's lace up, lock in, and let's go the distance.
As you all know, we are just here sharing our experiences as ADHD runners. Don't take anything here as medical or mental health advice. Always seek out advice from your own medical and mental health professionals.